Good afternoon and welcome to Bulletproof. I'm Bob Coleman, your host. And Bulletproof is a program where you will hear from some of the giants in multi-level marketing as they share their story on how they made it, even when things got a little rough, how they proved themselves to be bulletproof and won. And we're talking to men and women all over the country, like I said before, multi-level marketing giants. And it is my pleasure and my honor to have on the show today one of my heroes, Mr. Demond Coleman, no relation, but Demond Coleman. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Bob. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Well, Demond, one of the rules on this program, first of all, I'll tell you, this program is absolutely company neutral. And what I mean by that is as a matter of fact, we encourage you to name some of the companies that you've worked with. I mean, that is not a problem because we have people on from every company imaginable. So we want you to share that resume with the listening audience as well. So having said that, let's start off by just telling the audience and introducing yourself to the audience by telling them a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely, Bob. My name is Demond Coleman, and I'm originally from St. Louis. However, I've resided in Atlanta for the last 12 years with my wife and 2 of my 5 children.
Awesome. So I know you've been in the industry of multi-level marketing for many years, and, how did you get started?
Well, Bob, that's a great question. I got started out of a hardship, to be honest with you. When I was living in St. Louis, I was flipping houses. I did mortgage loans, owned a couple of salons. However, when the real estate market crashed, so did my income. And so my wife got accepted in the Morehouse School of Medicine residency program for pediatrics, and that was in 2006. However, I didn't get to Atlanta until 2007, and I got introduced to direct sales and network marketing in 2008. And that was with a company called Artist International. We actually sold women's undergarments, to be exact. And I remember like yesterday, I was at the Bronner Brothers hair show selling flat irons and blow dryers to supplement my income because, like I said, my lifestyle went backwards completely in terms of my finances. And so went back behind the chair, something I retired from, cutting and styling hair. I knew that wasn't going to be enough money for my family. And so I started supplementing my income by selling hair care products. And I did so well with this company. My first year, they asked me to come to the Bronner Brothers and sell on the floor where there were going to be over 10,000 attendees. And that's when a complete stranger out of Houston, Texas, introduced me to Artist International. And that's the company that sold women's undergarments. And 9 months later, Bob, I was earning over $50,000 a month in income.
Wow, that's incredible. All under the heading of multi-level marketing. Now, I ask this question to a lot of my guests, and I'm gonna ask it to you. A lot of times, people that are on the outside looking in, they'll look at the industry of multi-level marketing and they say things like pyramid scheme and scam. What would you say to someone like that?
There's just ignorance. It's a lack of education in terms of what the business of network marketing is truly about. Most people, they don't respect network marketing because it's such low startup costs. And I got started with that company, Artist. I only paid $300 to enroll. However, the biggest investment that I made was actually my time, my belief system, the work that I was willing to put in. But our product was very incredible. We bought that product wholesale and we sold it retail. And I don't know how that could be, correlated with the scheme or pyramid, because to me, that's just good business. However, network marketing, unlike a job or a corporation, it gives you an opportunity to pretty much write your own check. So instead of trading time for money to earn a wage, we believe in profits, and that profits are better than wages any given day of the week. And direct sales and network marketing gives the average person, whether they have a GED, whether they don't have any education at all, whether they have bad credit, white, black, blue, purple, it doesn't matter. You have a fair shot of becoming financially free in this industry. Whereas with a job, which I believe to be the true pyramid, you're limited in terms of the amount of income that you can earn and the positions that you can acquire.
Awesome. Well, having said that, if you were to give advice to a person that's looking to get into the industry of multi-level marketing, what startup advice would you give them?
Make sure, first of all, that they make a commitment, because entrepreneurship is unlike, a regular career in terms of corporate America, because with entrepreneurship, there aren't any guarantees. A lot of times people get excited about getting started with network marketing. They feel like they're going to take over the world, and nothing wrong with having that high level of belief. However, just like any business, this is a process as well. It takes time to build the business. And so my recommendation is make the commitment up front, because it is going to get tough. It is going to get challenging, not because the business is hard, but because people are not always easy. And so when you're, dealing with multiple personalities, in most cases, it could be discouraging for the average person. But when you make that decision and you make that commitment, at least give it 18 months, not 18 months to sit on the sideline to see what's going to happen, but 18 months of making it happen, and not just going out and working on the business and promoting the products and the opportunity, but most importantly, working on yourself. There's so many audios and DVDs and CDs and workshops that you can listen to and attend to help you become a better person, because the better person you become, the more value you can add into the marketplace. And the more value you add to the marketplace, the more value the marketplace is going to add to you. So don't just get started with the business with the intention just to grow your income. Get involved in the business, in the industry, with the intentions of just becoming better. Jim Rome says, you want to work harder on yourself than you work on your job. And in this case, it would be your business.
Wow. The name of this program is called Bulletproof, and we share stories and we spotlight individuals such as yourself who at one time, it did get hard for you. I know it got hard for all of us. And not just, it may not necessarily be in business, but just in life. Can you share a particular incident or particular moment in your life when things got a little rough for you, however you showed yourself to be bulletproof?
Yes, sir. Because I know this program is meant to positively impact the lives of others, I'm going to be very transparent. The only reason that I got introduced to network marketing, or should I say that I embraced it, is because of those hardships that you're speaking about. I mentioned being a real estate investor and owning 2 barbershops in St. Louis and having boarding houses and different things. And all of that sounds great. Did all of that before the age of 25. But what I didn't share with our audience today is that I sold drugs from the age of 15 to 28 years old. And I actually got indicted October of 2004. And then I got sentenced after 9 months of pretrial in July of 2005. I got sentenced to 3 years at Leavenworth Penitentiary Camp for cocaine and marijuana conspiracy. By the grace of God, I was only charged with the marijuana on that case. My co-defendants took responsibility for the cocaine, but because of the quantity of the marijuana, it was still considered to be federal. And because I was a part of an organization that, brought about the conspiracy charges. And so I served 2 years on to 3 years. And when I said in the beginning of the show that, my wife got to Atlanta in 2006 and I came in 2007, well, that's because I was in Leavenworth in 2006 and I got out March 7, 2007. But it was because of that hardship, man, that I was able to take some time and do some self-reflecting, take some time to, expand my thought process. I read a lot of books on business and found out, Bob, I wasn't so bad in the world of entrepreneurship. I just learned through reading a lot of those books how to be intentional. So it was with that time that I got to spend with myself, away from my family, to reflect and really make some life-changing decisions in terms of the direction I wanted my life to go in. Now, when I got out, I thought I was going to start flipping houses again, thought I was going to start doing mortgage loans. Well, the federal government said that if you were a convicted felon, that you could no longer do banking, when the very man that taught me how to do mortgage loans was a convicted felon who served hard time in Texas, who became a multimillionaire. And so I'm knowing, with my mind being as fresh as it was and as focused as it was at that time, that my story would be that I would come home and I would become a multimillionaire doing mortgage loans. and flipping houses. And so when I got ready, let me say it this way. When the young lady introduced me to that company, I was ready. And there's an old cliche saying, but I believe it to be true to this day. And that is, when opportunity and preparation meet, success isn't automatic. So I was prepared for the opportunity, and I was looking for an opportunity, and it found me by the grace of God. And because of my focus at that time and my work ethic and the timing that I got involved with that company, it propelled me to over $50,000 a month in income to build the home that I'm actually living in today.
Wow. Wow. Now, what I know you've done, you've worked with several companies within the industry. What are some of the companies, and what is, if you can say favorite, if you had a favorite, what would be one of your highest points in your career so far?
Man, I would have to say Artist International, my first direct sales and network marketing company. And the reason being is because Artists, you had a bunch of people who was ignorant, on fire. You had a bunch of people who had never done network marketing before. You had poor leadership. We didn't have a system. But what we had was a product and some people who were hardcore hustlers, who were willing to put in the work. And what that showed me is that this industry does not discriminate. It was a very ghetto, fabulous culture, to be very honest with you, because you have people from all walks of life. But that was my favorite time in the industry, because you were working with people who are authentic. People didn't have enough sense to put on airs at that time. Not that I put on airs. It's just sometimes people are fake. They're professional, but they're fake. And so you only get to see a certain aspect of that person. Well, in my very first company, Artist International, everybody came as it was like church. You came as you are. And then you had a hand select few of us that decided, well, now that we're here, let's grow, and let's become better and let's become professionals in this industry, because we saw the potential. And so one of my good friends to this day is a former stripper and has a GED for an education. We were in that company together. When I got to $50,000 a month in income, she got to $100,000 a month in income. And had I not had that experience, first of all, I might not have believed that this industry was for me. Second of all, now, I can look at people and I can say, man, you can do this, whether their pants are sagging to the bottom of their knees, whether they're uneducated, whatever society has said that counts them out for being able to have success, I can come to them and simply let them know very transparently, hey, if you're willing to make some positive changes in your life, I can help you have a better life. No guarantees, but man, over here, you got an equal shot. So that's why to this day, as ghetto fabulous as it was, that's my favorite company. And not because of the $50,000 a month that I got in income, but just because it was more or less people from all walks of life. You had NBC producers, you had real estate brokers, you had former strippers, ex-cons, real estate developers. I mean, man, you had people from all walks of life in 2008 when the market crashed, is really trying to figure it out. And so we all came together for the first time to do network marketing, and our lives, dramatically changed. And I'll never forget that imprint that it left on my brain.
Wow. What's some of the magic that this industry has allowed you? Some of the high points, some of the magic, some of the wow moments that this industry has afforded you?
Number one, at the top of my list, man, I've been able to retire my wife, who's a pediatrician. My wife's last contract was for $180,000 for the year. And to be able to tell my wife, hey, honey, your best value is going to be at home with our 5-year-old daughter and our 8-year-old son, which they weren't 5 and 8 at the time. They're 5 and 8 now, but several years ago, I was able to bring my wife home to add the value, man, to our children that they truly deserve. While I'm out here making sacrifices, traveling, inspiring, helping people, I know that my children are not being neglected and that they're getting the love, the education, and support that they need, with their mom, man. My mom was a single parent of 8 children. My dad was a crack addict until I was about 13 years old. And so we raised ourselves in the neighborhood. And some of us turned out okay, and some of us are not here today. And so I just thank God that my wife, is able to, be at home with our children, man. Another thing we were able to do when the market crashed, my dad is a real estate broker. He's been clean now for over 20 years. But when the market crashed, so did his income. And, man, I remember several months when we were able to pay Dad's mortgage, a car note. I remember giving my dad my car when I paid it off cash, gave him the car and the title and everything. I had a brother that when he came home from the federal penitentiary, he served 8.5 years. My dad gave him his car when I gave my dad my car. And my in-laws, just the same, man. When it was, got really tough for them, we were able to give them a monthly allowance until, my father-in-law, found something better in terms of work and everything. And so, man, just really being able to bless people, man. But it started in my home first, being able to have my wife, get her time back to spend with our children. But, man, we've been able to do a lot of things in the community for people who are in our family, outside of our family. And that's been my biggest highlights of the industry.
Awesome. Well, you have truly proven yourself, again, to be a giant in the industry. You've truly proven yourself to be what we call bulletproof. And I'm proud, first of all, to call you a friend. I'm proud to call you a business associate. And I can remember sitting in many a meeting here in St. Louis and beyond and watching you grow and seeing your growth. So I congratulate you on that as well. Thank you for being my guest today. Anything in closing that you would like to share with the listening audience prior to shutting the show down? Anything you want to share in closing?
Absolutely. It's been an honor and a pleasure to share on a platform where there's no judgment, where it's designed to inspire and uplift people. And I want to say, Bob, kudos to you, man, because, this is needed. This is very much so needed. People need to understand what the industry of direct sales and network marketing is all about, and what better way to find out from the people that's actually living it. And so I just think this is incredible, man. And I'm here to support anything that I can do to, further the vision of your show, Bulletproof. I'd love to be able to do so. So thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Awesome. That's Mr. Demond Coleman, guys, a giant in multi-level marketing. Thank you for being my guest today, guys. That's going to wrap up the show. And in closing, I'd like to say, as usual, that in all you're getting, get bulletproof. You guys have a great day.